Hey guys, I just wanted to kind of change the pace this week for the awareness campaigns. Some of you have been in the live and have heard this story before. I just wanted to put this kind of out there for people that may not have necessarily came across that live stream or the replay of the live stream up on our other channels. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why I chose to pursue, talking about Crohn's, colitis, and IBS in particular. It all starts with a 11-year war I had with my own body. I was a pretty healthy dude growing up. I took part in a lot of sports. I was in a lot of music projects with bands, doing audio work, etc. And then one day I just collapsed. I was hanging out with my friends at the bar. We went out for some drinks. Went back to my place. My best friend Ryan and I were hanging out for a little bit afterwards. He went home because he had to work the next day, and I just fucking collapsed not even 5 minutes after he left. Had to wake up my dad, screaming bloody murder downstairs because I honestly thought my appendix was bursting. Shortly after that, woke up in the hospital. They ran a bunch of tests, and they came in and asked me when I was diagnosed with Crohn's or colitis. I told them not ever in my life. So, we went through, double checking to make sure, their diagnosis was correct and everything. And then, after a few days in the hospital, they came back with a specialist that was a gastroenterologist specialist, or a GI specialist for short. She was phenomenal. She explained to me what was going on, what our current treatment paths were going to be, and all that. So I started off doing Remicade infusions, became immune to Remicade, unfortunately, so they had to move on to another treatment after that. So I also tried Symphony and Humira, got immune to both of those, and then after a while I switched GIs because I relocated. Got a really sharp young doctor by the name of Dr. Igo in Moncton there. He did a lot for me for the few years he looked over me. He got me off the prednisone, which is a very brutal medical steroid. It has a lot of psychological effects, a lot of bone density issues happen from it. It does a number on your teeth and whatnot. So needless to say, I walked out with not the greatest teeth because of the prednisone, but if I didn't take that prednisone, I probably wouldn't be here telling my story right now. He put me on a different type of steroid called Cortiment, which I've honestly responded to very amazingly. And we were kind of weighing options of where to go for treatment. And I got to the point where I had my third child on the way. And I was just like, you know what, enough's enough. Like, let's get down to brass tacks if this is Crohn's or colitis 100% and see what the options are. He had another colleague that just came out to Moncton who was an even higher tiered specialist in the GI field. He looked it over. They did the capsule test, so instead of doing a scope, I swallowed this pill. Pill went through my entire GI tract. Their images they got from that pill camera did determine it was indeed colitis. So I opted to have the surgery, third kid on the way, 2 young kids at the time, both on the spectrum, and, already a handful in the third one that was coming. So I was like, you know what, let's do it. Had my colon completely removed after, the 11-year battle there. And now I am completely cured of colitis. And, I live with permanent ostomy now, but you know what? It beats feeling like crap every day. And it beats going through all the different medication switches. It beats being on those hardcore prednisone style medical steroids. To be honest, I wish I did the surgery 10 years earlier when I first got diagnosed and didn't, mess around with the hope of, going into remission and being able to go back to my everyday life. And even if any of those medications worked, it'd be the same as I am now. I'd be limited to what I'd be able to do because of, living with the condition. Thankfully, you know, it was colitis, so I am cured now. I have a step cousin who had to lose his colon due to the Crohn's, and you know, unfortunately with him, Crohn's goes from anywhere from in your GI tract, so from your mouth down to your anus, can be affected. He still gets, you know, issues with his esophagus, his mouth, and all that. But he said the same to me. He wished he opted in sooner and did resections or whatnot to get it under control. So for those of you that are going through this battle, like, don't rule out the surgical option. If you've already tried a few of the different medications and it didn't work for you, honestly, yes, it is scary going in, but you know what? I went into my surgery at the beginning of COVID-19. I survived. I'm here now. So, like, honestly, guys, whatever path you do decide to go, like, over here at Soulless Gaming, it's an open community. It's open forum anytime we're on our live streams, either if it's over on my Ginginator89 account or if it's on the Soulless Gaming Discord and we're all hanging out during movie night or, you know, playing Dungeons and Dragons, etc. This is a community for everybody going through these conditions. So, with that being said, that's my story. I want to hear yours, and so does the rest of the team. So, if you ever do come across our streams, please feel free to be as open and candid as you want. It's no pressure at all, but this is a community that we designed for, you know, people like us that have been through it. We know it's scary when you don't have any resources. We are out here to be that resource and be that, you know, channel for you to, you know, let it vent out when you're going through a flare-up and you're feeling like crap all day, or, you know, you're just want to sit there and be quiet and chill for a little bit and kind of get the vibe and then, you know, speak up. That is amazing too. But this, again, when I started this campaigning with Soulless Gaming, I don't want to always be about my journey. I want to hear everybody else's journeys too. So, like, if that is something you want to be a part of, hit us up. Alright, guys. I'm going to go back to making some more content and get ready for some streaming. You guys enjoy the rest of your day or night, whatever time it is that you're watching. Alright, guys. Peace out.